Dear students, today we are discussing what is democracy. As you know, our text is on democracy, a very good book authored by Robert Dahl, and it is its chapter 4. What is democracy? So, Robert Dahl starts the discussion with saying all people have goals they cannot reach they cannot reach alone. All peoples have goals which they cannot reach alone. They cannot attain them alone. But they can reach some of them by working together but with others who have similar aims. Who have similar aims. So imagine that you and many other people decide to form a group to reach common goals. So people have to get together for common goals. So sometimes they have to form a group. They form a group. They become a group. At the first meeting, some members say the group needs the constitution. Anybody knows what is the constitution? Do you know? What is a constitution? Set of laws. Constitution is a set of laws. But what is the relationship between a general law and a constitution? Yes, constitution is a fundamental law. Constitution is the basic law of a country, of a group. Constitution, okay? So if a law is a fundamental law or basic law, it means no law can be made against it. No law can be made in violating it. You are understanding the difference? Yes. Getting the difference? So constitutions are basic laws, fundamental laws. All other are made in the light of the constitutions. Constitutions guide all other legislation. So at the first meeting, some members of the group say, we need a constitution. Simply, in simple words, we need some set of rules. We need a set of rules, how the group will work, okay? How the group will achieve its goals. Everyone likes this idea. Everyone likes this idea. You know, in our daily life, we practice some rules. Sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. For example, in this class, right now, we are practicing, we are observing some laws. For example, it is an unwritten law that when the lecture is in progress, the students will remain silent. You will not make noise. Okay, it is a law, it is a rule. Is it not? Yes. It is a rule. The students will not make noise. Okay. Similarly, it is a rule that students will attend the. Is it not a rule? It is a rule. There is another rule that the teacher will come and deliver a lecture. Is it a rule or not? It is a rule. The teachers will deliver the lectures. They will also attend the classes. Fine? And there is a time rule as well. Every class starts at a certain time and it closes at a certain time. It has to take place within that time. It is also a rule. Similarly, many things related to your timetable, every day you have different classes. There are also rules. There are also rules. And with reference to your classroom, which room you will use. Okay? These are rules, all rules. So, without rules, our daily life cannot function. Our daily life cannot function. We have rules in education, we have rules in hospitals, we have rules for driving, for traffic, okay? For every aspect of social life, political life, of individual life has a set of rules. So rules are very important. So when they are written and enforced, they are called law. They are called law. That is called law. It is enforced. So whenever there is an organization, there is a group, there is a collective activity, we make and observe certain rules and regulations or laws. So the members of the group think you have good skills for this kind of work. For example, any one of you is a member of that group, and the other members think you are better suited. You are best suited to formulate the laws, the regulations for the group. That is the constitution. You will write a constitution. So one member suggests that you should write the constitution. One of the members takes your name in presence of all the members and suggests this person can write a good constitution for our group. You will bring it to the next meeting for everyone to discuss. So you are supposed to write a constitution and present it in the upcoming next meeting of the group. All members agree with this suggestion happily. All members agree with this suggestion happily. When you accept this task, you say something like this. When you accept, you agree with the group that you will write a constitution. So you say, I think I understand the goals we all share. We understand the goals of this group. But I am not sure how we should make our decisions. But I am not sure how should we make our decisions. For example, do we want a constitution that gives authority to a few of the ablest and best informed among us to make all major decisions? Should there be a separate committee, a separate group out of us? For example, if there are 20 members in the group, so you think that some of the 20 members, they are more capable, more intelligent, and well informed, better informed. So it may be one way that the group asks those ablest persons that they will be making decisions for the whole of the group. It is a suggestion. It is a suggestion given by you. This way, we might get wiser decisions. And you suggest if these more capable persons, they are tasked with making decisions, we will get better decisions, wiser decisions. It would also save the rest of us much time and effort. So when the group members will know that there are certain people, individuals who will make decisions, then you will not bother about thinking on those decisions or taking time. So you will be free. It is a suggestion you are making in the presence of all the members of the group. Most members strongly reject that idea. You make this suggestion, but most of the members, they reject this idea. Some people who think they are the ablest and well-informed, they might agree, because this way they will get more power. They will become the leaders. So they may agree with your proposal, with your suggestion, but majority, most of the people, they are likely to disagree. Why? One member called the main speaker. Just imagine there is a member who speaks first, who makes first objection. We can call him main speaker, him or her main speaker. Says, on important matters, no one here is so much wiser that their opinion should always win. No one here is so much wiser than others that their opinion should always win. Some people may know more for a time, but all of us can learn what we need to know. Okay, we agree. It is acceptable that some people may be better informed than me, but as a human being, as a citizen, as a member of this group, I, you, everyone can learn how to make decisions. We will have to talk and think together before making decisions. So the main speaker says, all of us, all of the members, group members, will have to talk and think together. In other words, there will be a discussion. Whenever we will have to make a decision, we will discuss it among ourselves. We will think and we will discuss. That is one main reason we are forming this group. That is the main reason we are forming this group, so that whenever a decision is needed, all of us get together and there is a consultation. We consult with each other, we listen to each other, we express our opinions so that a decision is made which is suitable for all of the members of the group and which is beneficial, useful for the whole of the group. We are all equally able to take part in these talks and decisions. The main speaker, who objects to the proposal, says, we are all equally able. Political equality. We are all equally capable, able to take part in these talks and decisions. So, our constitution should be based on this idea. Our constitution should be based on this idea. It should give everyone the right to join in making decisions. It should give everyone the right to join in making decisions. Simply put, since we are all equally capable, we should rule ourselves through democracy. Since we are all equally capable, we should rule ourselves. We should make our decisions democratically, through democracy. After more discussion, everyone agrees with what the main speaker said. So the main speaker starts the discussion, then other people also speak. They put up their argument, their opinion forward. And after discussion, everyone agrees with the main speaker that all should take part in decision making. You agree to write a constitution based on those ideas. Since you are tasked with writing a constitution, so now you agree that you will write a constitution based on this idea that all members will be equally capable and equally take part in decision making. When you start working, you soon find something interesting. When you start working to write a constitution, to prepare a set of rules for the group, you soon find something interesting. Many groups and countries that call themselves democratic have very different constitutions. This is the interesting thing. There are many countries which are democratic, but their constitutions are not same. Their constitutions are different. For example, the United States has a strong president and a strong Congress. Parliaments have different names in different countries, you know. What is the name of the American Parliament? Congress. Congress is the American Parliament. And there's a different name for the German Parliament. There's a different name for the Russian Parliament. In Pakistan, our parliament is parliament, but in Urdu it is Majlis-e-Shura. Its Urdu name is Majlis-e-Shura. Even in the legislation, in the laws, Majlis Shura is used, not parliament. So there can be different names for the parliaments. So for example, the United States has a strong president and a strong parliament. Both have their own powers and work quite independently. President has his own powers, the Congress has its own powers. Congress and the president, they work independent of each other. But in most European countries, the system is different. There, North Korea is not a democracy. We are discussing democratic countries right now. So even in democracies, the systems are different. So in America, there is a presidential system. In most of the European countries, it is a parliamentary system. Parliamentary. In Pakistan, anybody knows which system we have? Our Pakistani system is presidential or parliamentary? It is parliamentary. So in Europe, in the parliamentary systems, the main leader called the prime minister is chosen by the parliament. Who chooses the American president, by the way? American parliament does not choose the American president? No, not voters. Every state, people in every state, they choose two representatives for a separate electoral college. Electoral college, two members, two representatives. Okay? And those representatives, on behalf of the citizens, they vote for or against the president. For the candidates, any candidate they like. Okay? So it is neither people directly elect the president, American president, nor their parliament elections. In parliamentary system, the same representative we have for legislation, they choose the president. Our MNAs, yes. In the National Assembly, election is held. The Prime Minister is elected. The MNAs vote for the candidates for prime ministership. It is called parliamentary system. There are many other important differences too. So it seems there is no single kind of democratic constitution. There are different types of democratic constitution. You start to think about whether these different constitutions have something in common that makes them democratic. So there must be something common that makes them democratic. You also wonder if some are more democratic than others. Maybe some of the constitutions, they are more democratic, and some other constitutions are less democratic. What does democracy really mean? What does democracy itself mean? You soon find that people use this word in many different ways. So you wisely decide to ignore all these confusing meanings. So there are many definitions, many meanings for democracy. So you decide not to get entangled in those definitions. You put them aside. Your task is simple and your task is clear. You are to write rules for your group, a constitution. You have to design a set of rules and principles. That is a constitution. It will decide how the group will make its decisions. The constitution will decide. The set of rules will decide how the decisions will be made. The constitution must follow one basic idea. What is that basic idea? All members should be treated as equally able to take part in decision making. Whatever else may differ in running this group, all members are to be seen as politically equal. Now, criteria for a democratic process. Robert Dahl discusses criteria for a democratic process. Here he discusses 5 things. And he says there are many complex and confusing ideas about democracy, but is it possible to find some clear rules for it? Can we find what is needed to make sure all members have an equal right to take part in the group's decisions? I believe there are at least 5 such rules or standards. Five. 5 such rules or standards. Number one is effective participation. Effective participation. Before a policy is accepted, all members must have an equal and fair chance to share their opinions. All members must have an equal and fair chance to share their opinions. Everyone should be able to tell others what they think the policy should be. Everyone should have a chance. Everyone should have the right to tell others, they tell the group members of the group what they think the policy should be. Everyone can share their views and take part in discussions. The second criteria. What is the second criteria? Voting equality. When it is time to make the final decision, every member must have an equal and fair chance to vote. All votes must be counted equally. All votes must be counted equally. Suppose in your class there are 20 people in your class, 20 people. You are going to make a decision by voting. And suppose it is decided that these 5 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 5 people, they will have 10 votes each. Each of them will have 10 votes. So how many votes they will be able to cast collectively, these 5 people? 50. 10 by 5, 50. How many votes they will have? 50 votes. Remaining 15 in your class, they have only 1 vote. So collectively, how many votes they will be able to cast? 15 votes. These 5 only 5 will have 50 votes because each one of them has 10 votes. But all others, they have 1 vote. So it means your votes are not equal. So who will win the voting? This minority. This minority will win the voting. Okay? The majority will fail. You will lose the voting. So it simply means for a democracy to function and for political equality, the votes must be counted equal. Votes must be counted equally. Everyone's vote has the same value. Number 3, the third criteria. What is the third criteria? Enlightened understanding. Repeat. Enlightened understanding. Every member must have an equal and fair chance to learn. Every member must have an equal and fair chance to learn about the different policy options. About the different policy options. Everyone can learn about different choices. Everyone can learn about different choices and their results. They should also understand what the results of each option might be. If option A is preferred, then what will be the results? If option B is preferred, what will be the results? So every member of the group should have the right to know this, to understand this. This should be done within a reasonable amount of time. The fourth criteria, the fourth standard for democracy. What is that? Control of the agenda. The members must have the full right to decide what topics will be discussed and how. The members must have the full right to decide what topics will be discussed in the group sessions, in the group meetings, and how will they be discussed. If they wish, they can choose what matters to add to the agenda. If they wish, they can choose what matters to add to the agenda. This means the decision-making process is never closed. So decision-making process has to be open so that it is democratic. Members can always change the group's policies if they want to. If the members of the group want to change the policies, they have always the chance. People can decide what issues to discuss and what policies to change. People can decide, the members can decide what issues to discuss in the sessions and what policies need to change. The fifth criteria, the fifth standard, democratic standard, what is it? Inclusion of adults. All adults must be included. All or at least most adult permanent residents should have full citizen rights. All or most adult citizens have full rights to take part in the democratic process. These rights include everything mentioned in the first 4 points. Everything mentioned in the first 4 points. Before the 20th century, most supporters of democracy did not accept this idea. Before the 20th century, even democracies did not observe this criteria. Now, the question is, why these criteria? Robert Dahl has identified 5 democratic standards, 5 democratic standards. So now he asks why? Why these 5? Each point is necessary if all members are to be politically equal. Each point is necessary if all members are to be politically equal in making decisions. In other words, if any rule is broken, any rule out of these 5, it is broken, members will not be politically equal. It will lead to political inequality. For example, if some members get more chances to share their opinions, their ideas may win more often. Suppose there are 2-3 people in the parliament, in the assembly, they always have time, 90% of time they consume by speaking. They speak for 90% of the time. So it is likely that they win the minds of other members, and their view wins. So the people vote in their favor. But if all members had an equal share, equal chance to speak, then there will be a balanced view of the legislation under consideration, the decision under consideration, and a better decision will be reached. In the worst case, if discussion is limited, a small group could end up making all the decisions. A small group could end up making all the decisions if discussion is limited, if all members are not allowed to discuss. The rule of effective participation helps prevent this from happening. So effective participation means that all members should have equal right, equal chance to speak. Imagine that the votes of members are not counted equally. The second criteria, why equality of vote is necessary. For example, suppose votes are given more weight based on how much property a person owns. if it is a criteria that the suppose these 5 persons they have more property, and that is the reason they are given 10 votes. So it will open the way for minority rule. It will become political inequality. Some members have much more property than others. If we believe all members are equally able to take part in decisions, why should some votes count more than others? The first two rules may seem very clear and obvious. First two rules. But you may wonder if the rule of enlightened understanding is really needed. It is very important. Enlightened understanding, very important. In fact, in countries where democracy is weak, countries where democracy is weak. In Pakistan, democracy is weak or strong? In Pakistan, democracy is weak. So there are many other countries where democracy is weak. So one reason is that the citizens are not vigilant. One reason is that there are many other reasons, but one reason is that the citizens do not have proper understanding of democracy. The citizens are not vigilant. They do not know how to promote democracy and how to protect democracy because they don't have enough enlightened understanding of the democratic system. So Robert Dahl says it is must for a democracy to work properly and efficiently, it is must that the citizens have an enlightened understanding of democracy, of politics. If all members are equally qualified, why do we need this rule? And if they are not equally qualified, then why should we make a constitution that treats them as if they are? As the main speaker said, political equality means all members are equally able to take part in decisions. But this is true only if everyone has enough chances to learn about the issues. They must be able to do this through study, through discussion, and careful thinking. So these are the ways citizens acquaint themselves with the functioning of democracy. They acquire knowledge of democracy, of politics. Please stop clicking. Stop clicking the pens, ball pens. The third rule makes sure that every member has these chances. This idea was clearly expressed long ago in 431 BCE, before Christ era, by the Athenian leader Pericles. Pericles was a famous leader. Still in history, he is famous. He was an Athenian leader. He said that ordinary citizens, even while busy with their work, can still judge public matters fairly. Pericles said that ordinary citizens, common people, even while busy with their work, they can still judge public matters fairly. Okay, okay. Okay, turn this fan on. He also said that discussion is not a problem for action. Pericles said, discussion is not a problem for action. Instead, it is necessary for any wise action. Discussion, instead, is necessary for any wise action. The first three rules may seem enough when taken together. The first three rules may seem enough when taken together. But imagine that a few members secretly disagree with equal political rights for everyone. Imagine that a few members secretly disagree with equal political rights for everyone. Okay. They tell you that the interests of the biggest property owners are more important than others. Okay. This fan is not working. What's the issue? Okay. Okay, get back. Get back. Get back. We are discussing the control of the agenda. Control of the agenda. Whether it should be controlled by all the members or not. So Robert Dahl says, imagine that a few members secretly disagree. They make a plan, secret plan. People who are wealthy, who are rich, they make a secret plan, but and try to understand what is their plan. How do they want to have their way? How do they want to fail the majority, and they win the decisions in their favor? So they come up with a proposal. They bring up a clever proposal. What is the clever proposal? They tell the group's members that the interest of the biggest property owners are more important than others. They say it would be best if the votes of these rich members counted more so they could always win. Okay? They say the members who are wealthy, who have land, who have more money, there should be more votes should be counted more. They should have more votes than the common people so that they could always win. But since that is not possible, they want a rule that lets them win even if most members vote against them. Now, they understand if they put this proposal, the people will not agree. Now, they form a secret plan. This means they want to control decisions no matter what the majority decides. They come up with a clever plan. This just a constitution that seems to meet the first three rules and looks fully democratic. This just a constitution that seems, really it is not democratic, but it seems to be democratic. To meet the first three rules and look fully democratic. But they secretly add a condition that cancels those rules. They secretly add a condition that cancels all those democratic rules. They say that members can discuss and vote only on issues already chosen by an executive committee. They say there should be an executive committee who should set the agenda, who should decide the agenda. Only the largest property owners can join this committee. There should be a committee, but which should decide the agenda, and who should be the members of that committee? Only the propertied class, only the wealthy people. Getting the point? By controlling the agenda, this small group can protect its own interests. This small group can protect its own interests. They can make sure no proposal is ever discussed that goes against what they want. After thinking carefully, you reject their plan. When the members think carefully, they get to know the purpose and they reject this proposal of having an executive committee which will control the agenda. It goes against the principle of political equality that you must protect. That you must protect. Instead, you start looking for constitutional rules that meet the fourth criterion. This will make sure that final control stays with all the members together. For members to be politically equal in running the group, all four rules must be followed. So it seems we have found the rules needed for a group to be truly democratic. Yes, the chapter has ended. The chapter has ended. Just words about the state. State, and then we close. Robert Dahl says there are many definitions of state, and what do I mean by state? Just we conclude this point. The word state is often used in unclear or loose ways, so let me explain what I mean by it. Robert Dahl says a state is a special kind of group or association. A state today is a special kind of group or a special kind of association. It is different because it can make people follow its rules. It is different from other groups and associations because in other groups you are not coerced, you are not forced to. For example, if you are a member of a cricket club or a tennis club, so it is your choice. You may you may join or you may not join. If you become a member, after some time you can quit. Okay, you can finish your membership, or if you are not feeling well, you may not go to play for a week. So the group cannot punish you. The group cannot coerce you. It cannot fine you. But if the state is such a group and it is such an association that if its rules are violated, it can coerce you, it can force you, it can punish you, it can fine you. So this is a basic difference between a state and other types of groups and associations. So here we conclude this chapter. So thank you very much.